Well, the Department of Corrections says that protocol was followed, but some are saying protocol isn't good enough.
Elizabeth Irwin continuing our team coverage tonight. And Elizabeth, the state is certainly totally not off the hook here.
Not yet, Steve and Katie. In fact, the U.S. Supreme Court says the state needs to keep any leftover drugs and the labels that go along with it. Also tonight, we're hearing from the ACLU of Arizona and from people who watched Wood take his last breath.
Usually takes about 10 minutes, the person goes to sleep. This was not that.
Media witnesses sharing what happened in the nearly 2 hours it took for Joseph Wood to die.
Mr. Wood was gasping for air about in 5-second to 12-second intervals for almost 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes.
And it just sort of looked like a fish opening and closing his mouth.
I counted about 660 times. He sort of gasped, kind of looked like as if he was trying to breathe or catch air.
According to the ACLU of Arizona, the way Wood's life ended is just plain wrong.
It has caused suffering and cruel and unusual punishment.
The Department of Corrections says the execution started at 1:52. Wood was pronounced dead at 3:49.
What happened today was just horrible and outside the bounds of human decency.
Alessandra Soler points out the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals tried to stop the execution because of the secrecy surrounding the drugs used. That decision was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court.
This drug cocktail that the state of Arizona is using, that these drugs are not working as they are intended to work.
And right now, there are not any other executions scheduled here in the state of Arizona. The ACLU is asking that the state keep it that way until we can make sure what happened today does not happen again.
And one of Wood's attorneys calling this an experiment to carry out an execution that failed today in our state. He goes on to say Arizona appears to have joined several other states who have been responsible for an entirely preventable horror, a bungled execution. The public should hold its officials responsible and demand to make this process more transparent.
Governor Jan Brewer says in part inmate Wood died in a lawful manner, and by eyewitness and medical accounts he did not suffer.